Hey, if you're like most golfers, you'll turn on the TV on any weekend and you'll just marvel on how far the guys on TV are hitting the ball, but looking like they're swinging so gently. How do they do it? This is something we call creating effortless power. The guys on TV have it. You need more of it. And right after this, I'm going to show you step by step on how you're going to get more of it. Hey, this is Steve from hititlonger.com. Thanks for tuning back into the channel again. If you're new to the channel though, if you get some benefit out of this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button on the bottom of the screen, and leaving a comment down below. So let's get into creating more effortless power step by step. Probably the simplest, but yet most necessary part of effortless power is making sure that you have supple quickness. This is what Mike Austin used to call how we would loosely, very loosely, hold the club, let that looseness radiate all the way up into the shoulders so that the club can freely play back and forth like this. I'm holding it so lightly, I'm almost starting to feel like the head of the club is like an anvil. It weighs so much. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get a heavy club head feel by being so light and weak on the grip and with my arms. Combining that, that's the suppleness part. We're combining that with the quick part, which is essentially drawing back and then just recklessly making a whoosh through the impact zone, letting go in a reckless and free manner, accelerating the club head rather than attempting to either control it or lag it or pull it through, but instead wind up and supplely whip the club through the impact zone. That'll help you get you on your way to some effortless power. Another great way to help you develop more effortless power in your swing is increasing the length and width of your windup or your backswing. Take a look here at current world long drive champ Kyle Berkshire. He's not an enormous human being. He's a fairly average sized human being, and yet he's able to hit the ball at 155 miles per hour. But look at the size of the backswing, the windup, the shoulder turn, and especially the width. He gets it way above the shoulder. So he's got a big shoulder turn. He's got a very wide arc. Most of us, of course, we can only aspire to be here. Most of us are not going to be gifted or flexible enough to get here, but that doesn't mean we can't push a few points towards this. So if you're not turning your shoulders and the club is sitting here or even here, or even here at the top of the swing, you're leaving 5 or 10 miles an hour on the table, which means for you to get the same club head speed, you have to try harder. The longer and wider you can get this at the top, the easier it will be to create effortless power. You want to work on your flexibility every day, and when you go to the range to hit balls, you want to set aside maybe a set of 5 or 10 golf balls, and you want to just use those 10 to stretch out your backswing a little bit farther, even at the sake of hitting 10 consecutive poor shots. It's okay. You don't have to swing hard at that moment. You just need to wind up out of your comfort zone longer and wider than ever before. Keep working on that. You'll consistently get better. The simple truth of why the guys on TV and the guys in long drive get so much more effortless power than the average golfer is because their maximum speed is super high. So if I can swing a club all out, let's say 120 miles an hour, see, for all of us, our cruising speed is going to be about 5 or 6 miles an hour lower than our maximum speed. So if I could swing a club at 120 miles an hour all out without any regard for contact or direction, it means 114 to 115 miles an hour is probably where I'm going to be when I'm just smooth. So I can look very smooth and yet be pretty fast. If you're at 90 miles per hour, it's going to be about 84 or 85 for you. It seems to be always pretty consistent. So imagine it being all relative. If you can imagine how Kyle Berkshire or somebody fast on the PGA Tour like a Rory McIlroy might be, well, it looks very smooth for them swinging at 120. Kyle Berkshire would be very smooth swinging at 140. It would look like he's just barely bunting at 140 miles an hour. So it's all relative. This means the only way that you're ever going to push your cruising speed up is by pushing your max speed up. So we've got to do some speed training to raise our max end up 5, 6, 10 miles an hour. Our cruising speed is attached to it, so it will rise right up automatically with your change in max speed. So let's get the max speed going this year. Okay, first up, I'm going to show you my cruising speed, 110, maybe 111 miles per hour. So that's a fairly smooth speed for me. Now let's see if I can step it up, swing closer to my max speed. So here I won't be really worried so much about direction or contact. It's just about creating closer to my max speed. So I was able to get that last swing up to around 117 miles per hour. As you can see the numbers on the screen here. But I'm really straining. A little bit lucky to hit it straight-ish. But I'm really straining. That is not the speed that I would comfortably use on a golf course, even a par 5. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't spend some of our time training at that speed. You always want to try to take 5 or 10 balls per bucket and try to really swing with that extra 5 or 6 miles an hour and continue to nurture your top speed. Continue to shock your muscle fibers, get them to be more explosive and more in tune with each other. Let's raise that cruising speed up by raising up the max speed. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the most obvious tip of all, and that's the guys on TV are getting effortless power by striking the ball right in the center of the club face. Of course, all of these other things that I've mentioned this is a given, of course, that I'm going to be hitting the center of the club face, as you will want to as well, for you to get it way out there more effortlessly. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope this video and the tips I've presented will be beneficial to you at getting more effortless power, raising your cruising speed, club head speed, and I'll either see you in the next video or maybe longer and straighter down the fairway. Thanks.